going live on my public page. You ready? We're now streaming live. Okay, Holly Unluata, Akuna Matata. Good to see you. We were chatting for a while before we even came on. We were supposed to come on 27 minutes ago. No big deal. So was going to broadcast this to heighten your spiritual connection, and I was not able to. So for those of you who are also friends with Holly or I, hopefully you're able to see this. So we were both just looking for notification as well. So I'm not entirely sure who's on this video, but it's wonderful to be in your energy. I love it. So if we do either of us get a notification, we'll grab that. But it is so good to be here live with you, Holly.
Yes.
Unluata, growth coach extraordinaire. And we've known each other for 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I love our beginnings. Is it okay for me to share our beginnings? And you can share
Absolutely.
your version, I'll share my version.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like blown away. Okay. So this was the beginning of me coming online, and I was down at a business coaching, seminar workshop down in California. And I get a tag on another group, and it says, and it was you, somebody tagged me in this post that you did about your friend who had passed, your sister, and that you just felt this sense of calm and this peace, and somebody tagged me. And so you and I got in touch, and I want to hear your version of the story too. But you and I got in touch, and we were vibing back and forth, and we were going to work together, etc. I go home to Idaho, and we realized that as we were texting, my dog's in the background, as we were texting, as we were messaging, we realized we were 10 minutes away from each other. Isn't that crazy? I want to hear your version. Go, girl, go.
Okay.
What
Oh
happened?
my gosh. I love this. Okay. So my late sister had passed on the 18th, and I felt this like weird sense of calm and peace. And I was like, this just feels strange. I don't think this is very normal when someone crosses over, especially someone as young as her. She was just before her 30th birthday, but like, it doesn't surprise me there's a dog barking. She has a love for dogs. So this is like just, and her dog was just a white and black version of that. So anyways,
That's what I love about you, Holly. You bring it in.
yeah.
Okay, go on.
And so when she crossed over and I felt that, I was like, I gotta search out a medium. I know we were connected, but this is just oddly different than I've ever experienced, and I want to know more about it. And so I went into this group, I posted that, and somebody connected you to me, and I messaged, we started like vibing, like messaging back and forth. And you're like, yeah, I'm in a business thing, blah, blah, blah. And I did not realize you were literally just down the street from my house in the same town. Like it could have been anywhere in the world, being that you didn't, at that time, you didn't even live anywhere near there, and you still don't, but you were there visiting around a tribe of people I'm still surrounded by today. Like this, just like the things that have transpired and happened from that moment and that like initial meeting, it blows me away. I came to you with interest to know why I was calm originally. And then I was like, well, I want to learn about my gifts to connect to my late sister. And so that's like the explosion point.
And for sure, absolutely. And I just have to say, I feel so honored to be able to witness that, to witness you from the beginning of your gifts opening up. I mean, that was amazing and spectacular. And it's been quite a journey. And I would love for you to share a little bit about yourself and just share, anything. We talked about a lot of stuff before we even went live. So share, about yourself, about your spiritual journey, what you've taken advantage of with the classes, VIP, retreat. We'd just love to hear.
Oh my goodness. It's so funny. I wrote about this in the VIP the other day, and it was really powerful to become aware of like, when did I have gifts? Well, I've always had gifts, like from as early as I can remember, but nobody understood what I could see. And so I was not told I was crazy, but like go back to sleep kind of deal, or like you'll be okay, or like my closet would light up, or as a kid, the room would come alive. There was always a spiritual presence with me. There was always a light that followed. Um, but I was scared of it, so I would shut down. I would shut it down, closet it away, and it came alive again when I was a teenager. And I got scared by it again because yet I had nobody around me to help me validate my gifts. And so I closeted it away. And I grew up in Gig Harbor, Washington, and I lived there for the first 18 years of my life. I was raised by my dad. And I have a wonderful stepmother now in my life. Um, from after being raised in Washington State, I was a Sea Scout, loved boats, was all that. So I went to Maui, Hawaii for 3 years and lived over there. And when I was in Hawaii, I felt my gifts start to come back again. However, again, still was not surrounded by people who could really help me hone in and tune in and understand what I was feeling. Like, just people looked at me like they didn't understand. So I've always just kind of shut down who I truly am to my core, because I felt like the random toilet on the side of the freeway that I experienced many times in California, like it just didn't fit. Um, Pause for just 30 seconds. I got to just plug in my phone before this thing.
I was like, what just happened? No, this is good. And I just want to throw this out there. I appreciate your story.
Yes.
And I always feel like, okay, I always feel like things are always divine. And I feel like always. And then what I witnessed with you and I is that there's different things that happen that are very synchronistic, right? And so what's amazing about our sessions is that we're always kind of vibing, and even just that with like, just a second, let me plug in my phone, right? And what's interesting is like something that I needed to tend to over here at the exact same time. So I noticed that with you and I'm wondering if you've noticed that too. Like there's always something very, very much in sync with us. And so even as you're telling your story and there's some background stuff happening between the both of us, we're still in sync with each other. And it's almost like all divine, like it's all happening because it needs to happen. And I love hearing your story because I know your story, but also because there's some parallels too. Like you and I have quite a few parallels in our growing up. And so with that, I would love for you to continue. I just wanted to interject that.
I know, I love it. It's absolutely divine, and this is just one of the millimeters of examples of why Heather and I have been able to work together for 4 years. I just want to throw this into the story of like, you don't know when you work with someone how long you're going to work with them. And traditionally, from my observation, this long of a relationship or connection where it continues to have this evolution is rare, and I'm grateful for this. So I'm going to share why, though. So let me build up to that because it's really part of the story. And I think this explosion for me happened at retreat. So let me get there, because I have faced adversity, you guys. After I lived in Hawaii, I joined the military, and I decided to sign my life away to Uncle Sam, not fully understanding what that meant, but had the honor and due diligence to want to serve my country and serve it with pride in the United States Coast Guard. I love the water. I love boats. I had a dream of driving the surf boats out there. However, I did not have an ego, and people I was working with did not like that. And there was a sense of mistreatment. And I went through times of bullying and not being worthier enough or being different because I was the Coast Guard woman and not the Coast Guard man. Wives were scared that I was going to take their husbands. Crazy things, like
Mm-hmm.
high school attitudes. And it was really uncomfortable. Nonetheless, I pursued through and showed up 110%. Went to culinary school, was in the military and things like that, but ended up medically retired after seeing some things and experiencing some things, not getting to heal after surgery, thrown back out into duty less than 2 months after surgery, you guys, with full sea gear. So things that happened that were really uncomfortable. However, I've shown up,
Mm-hmm.
and I've always persevered through the adversity. And when when my late sister passed in 2017, and I really like from that period of getting out of the service, which happened, I got out of the service a day after my maternity leave ended with my first son. And it was a very unexpected thing. It was supposed to be at least a month or two later, but I medically retired before that, and didn't really know what medical retirement meant. Um, it's changed my life. However, I have a wonderful, incredible husband who is absolutely wonderful and amazing. We have two little boys now, and my journey with them has been a journey of healing. And when my late sister passed, I knew I had to make a change into the sense of my health. I already knew I was medically retired, but I was still dealing with struggles that I hadn't fully stepped into taking care of them, because I don't know about anybody else, but sometimes going to the doctor, doing things to take care of yourself is uncomfortable. And I had an issue with getting uncomfortable. I used to use positivity to cope. When I met you, Heather, that's exactly what I did. Was I used positivity to cope, and I wouldn't step into my true emotion, but I also didn't know who I was anymore. I lost who I was. I felt like she got shut down by everything that had occurred in the service. You know, and I've heard that from a lot of military veterans, is they don't understand who they are because you were taught to go out and complete a mission. And you have, sometimes in completing the mission, you set your feelings and emotions aside and you just get the job done.
Right, right, right. And you know, it's incredible to witness your opening with that. You know, that you've really opened up despite what you've gone through, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's incredible to witness that and everything that you've learned through that process and being able to meet you. And I'm going to kind of jump forward just because
Go for it.
it's so exciting to meet you in person. I just got to throw that in there. And right, so we were able to meet in person at retreat last year at the Colorado retreat, and I got to see you, like your whole self. And I know that we've been online or on phone for, you know, these 4 years, and you know, just seeing you with your veterans backpack, your hat, I was like, this is Holly. Like I get to see her in her essence, in her being, in person. You know, it was such a beautiful moment for me. I just want to say that. And as you're sharing about your veteran story, it just feels like it's come full circle. Like, wow, like there's so much of your life that I know that I feel honored to know. And I was able to
Yeah.
in person, you know? And so thank you for sharing that, because I feel like too, like, you know, well, we've talked about this too. Vulnerability is the new superpower, right? Brene
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I love that because you show up, and you always show up, and it's absolutely spectacular that you show up.
Mm-hmm.
And so us working together, you know, I feel like at first we started with spiritual advising,
Yes.
right? And then it seemed like then you were able to step into, was it mediumship first?
Um, yes, we did mediumship. So I did your like second medium round of mediumship courses or something. Like it was in the
Mm-hmm.
very beginning when you started the mediumship courses, and I went through 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think we did like one session before that, and then we just jumped right into mediumship before
Right.
we started spiritual advising. And then
Okay.
I think
Okay.
after that, it was spiritual advising. And then it was Reiki. I was thinking about this the other
I
day. I
know.
was
I
like
know.
putting
I
it all together. Like, what has been the process? You guys, by the way, I started taking, I don't know if any of you have heard, like, you know, the school sites, but I tried another Reiki class. And I will tell you, Heather's Reiki classes, A, they're worth the money, but B, she's like high vibe at AF. And those vibes come through in her Reiki and her Reiki classes, and they're totally worth every single penny. Every investment I've ever made really has just been so worth it. The outcomes from those appointments and those sessions and all the gifts and skills and knowledge that I've gained. But I think what really sticks through for me is you've taught me to be curious. Be curious. Like it's huge, huge, huge. She repeated it at the retreat, and I'm like, huh? But be curious, and you're never wrong. When it comes to your spiritual gifts and who you are, you're never wrong. I think a great example of that is like one time in a reading, I could feel cold, and I was like, this just seems really weird. Like, why am I feeling cold? And I asked the person, you know, is it a popsicle? Well, yeah, my grandfather and I used to love to eat popsicles together. Well, that was the reason I was feeling cold. So it never hurts to ask or explore by being curious and asking questions and exploring. And I think you really gave me that gift to be curious in life, more beyond my spirituality. Um, and also gave me the gift of never being wrong so that I could have the confidence to grow forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's beautiful to witness as people recognize that. I feel like just recognizing that on the spiritual path and mediumship, Reiki, whatever energetic, mode that you're a part of, is that you're not wrong. I mean, you're getting these impressions for a reason, and we just got to figure out why you're getting those impressions, and then also recognizing where they fit, or to put those puzzle pieces together, to ask those questions. And I applaud you for asking those questions. I feel like sometimes people may feel like it should just come to you, but at the same time, it will come to you. But we also need to ask those questions, and that's what
Hmm.
that's what you've done. And I feel like with each step of the journey, you've been able to do that. And you're there right from the beginning with VIP. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, that just hit me. Oh my gosh. Wow. From the very beginning.
I've watched VIP, like the
Wow.
foundational people that have continued, but the family members that keep coming in that feel called, there's so many different avenues and levels and gifts and skills that are in that group. It's a family. I can't even begin to explain to you, like, honestly, my favorite group on Facebook is VIP. It is worth every single investment. A little birdie told me there's a code called VIP May, VIP May. And I
Mhm.
just would implore you to check it out for the month of May while that code is available and see what you think,
Mhm.
honestly, because I will tell you the investment into that familyhood of like getting to know your skills. Like, just because I've been with Heather doesn't mean I have all my skills honed in and I'm perfect, off I go. No, obviously I'm here for a reason, right? As Heather continues to keep evolving and taking care of herself and her gifts and skills, it allows us to go that way too. So it's like this collective energy and family where we all grow together, um, and nobody's wrong, and we get to share in that safe space. I really appreciate the containered safe space that you have built in that group, and I just love watching people's gifts start to pop off and for them to start trusting themselves and stepping into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love witnessing you witness. I just got to say that. And, just thinking about you being there right from the beginning, and that was when VIP was building. So I think we did synchronicity and manifestation. And I say we because it's like my spirit guides, and they're probably
Yes,
getting
yes.
this information. So I'm like, we. Uh, but then moved into psychic skills and channeling, and you were able to be there. There's some of the older classes and whatnot that you're on, the Zooms with me, and whatnot, some other of the VIPs. And so it's neat to see that. And now we have Old Souls and the Star Children, and oh my gosh, the Claires for mediumship, meeting your main guide. So it's almost like this is the best time to join, because like there's all these classes there.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
and just like
It,
Holly said, that through the month of May, if you use the coupon code VIP May when you go to my website, then you're able to join us at a discount for for this month. And I'd love to hear, you're talking about the family, the tribe, and I love witnessing you be that. I know we were talking about this before we started recording, but that veteran, you're a double veteran, right? But the veteran for spirituality, and being able to assist people and coach people, and move them through what they need to move through. And I really appreciate that. I just feel like having you in VIP, it's like you've been there since the beginning, and you have these incredible gifts that you're able to share with people. And so I would love to hear more, like with VIP, or the other services, the retreat, that type of thing, like you are how you're utilizing this now, perhaps how you're moving into your own business with some of these skills. I'd love to hear more about that.
that's so crazy that you bring that up because I was just thinking about all that today, of like how has these skills implemented into my life. And so because of VIP, so I started in Heighten Your Spiritual Connection. Okay. And I started to gain the curiosity for my skills, right? And wanting to know more. And then when you open the VIP group, getting in there, but then the VIP is like that smaller hub, like even more refined space to really hone in and practice those skills because there's other people practicing. And so was a really great space to gain that confidence. And now because of that confidence that I've gained, I love to do readings. Part of what I offer, I'm a growth coach. I took all these things that I've been through, grown and experienced, got my master life coach certification, added that with the Reiki and all this stuff. And so I just have this plethora. What is a growth coach? Well, I help you grow through life, right? Grow through what you go through with everything that I've grown through and experienced, my certifications and resiliency and positive parenting and things like that, like just bringing all these skills together in a toolbox to help and support people what they go through. And that's because I've gained confidence. And when I am feeling my shaking confidence and ground, one of the first things I do is I book a session with Heather. Her, this is like, seriously, you guys, Heather has helped me. If you go read my first post where I talk about what Heather has helped me through, I go to Heather because maybe she's not like a therapist, but it's a safe place to process and help you hear your mind think during those spiritual advising sessions. So you can, but also gain the spiritual knowledge of like, okay, I can take one more step, or the step I'm seeing is the right step I need to go to. I can't tell you how many times, especially yesterday's reading. In VIP, you were doing insights, and I had asked about something that I was really nervous about, and you gave me confirmation that I had already felt, but it gave me that extra. Sometimes, I know it's a culture of like, we need to validate ourselves. I get that. But when you're starting out, sometimes having somebody assist in that validation, or once in a while just getting outside validation, spirit's validation, is really powerful. And so it helps support me and to believe that it was going to happen. And it did. It happened real quick. Like Heather.
I'm always amazed. I'm human, right? So I'm always amazed, like these things that transpire.
Right.
It blows my mind. And I love that you took a leap, right? You took a
Yeah.
leap, and you've taken several leaps lately,
Yes.
and I feel like you were sharing earlier before we came on about evolution and about being able to evolve. And I get this sense that each experience that you've had, you have evolved. You have. And even as you're sharing about being a growth coach and taking in all of your expertise, the classes that you've taken, the resiliency, doing, what was the parenting? What was it? Is it parenting resilience? Is that what it's called?
Triple P positive parenting is what the technical name is called, but
Okay.
there's parenting resilience. It has a self-regulatory framework, but it's more than just what it applies to the parent child. It's sometimes what applies to ourselves as well. Like these gifts and
Wow.
skills can be transpired into so many avenues of how we take care of ourselves. Self-therapy, girlfriend.
I know. And I love that you're bringing this forward, because I just feel like you have taken everything. You've taken your life experiences, and you've taken all of your expertise and all of these tools, and you've created this incredible hub of sorts, to be able to really help others grow, just like you said. And I love I love some of our sessions. I think that's why I was clapping earlier, because I love all our sessions. But some of the different like catchphrases that you have, and I'm like, you got to get that on a cup or a t-shirt or something. And so I love witnessing this, and I love witnessing your evolution, and you're going to keep evolving. And that's what we were talking about before we came on, is, you were just sharing, like, through these 4 years, you have been able to evolve, and we're always evolving. And so I would love to hear more about what self-care is. Do tell, or I know what it is. Go ahead and tell everybody else what it is.
Self-therapy is how we take care of ourselves, is therapy. Like I was speaking about it today in my group. The Power of Growth Collective is my group, and we were talking about, I'm holding a self-love self-therapy retreat, basically teaching on the principles of like what you surround yourself with. Be intentional. Like self-therapy, the way we take care of ourselves is a form of therapy, meaning the things we drink, the things we eat, the things we think about, the things that we put on our walls, the clothes that we wear. Like we get a choice of those things. And that is a way to take care of ourselves. It's a form of therapy, right? As someone who has had PTSD and been through massive amounts of just dealing with the shadow sides, the not so comfy, not so beautiful, getting into the mess, there is beauty in the mess, you guys. There is beauty, and we have to find it. Sometimes it's as small as a speck of salt. I'm recovering people pleaser, recovering fixer, and recovering person who used to think that every day was rainbows, butterflies, and happy little unicorns.
Right.
And it's not. It's not. Heather, look at the
Keep
work that
going.
our sessions, like some of our sessions have been intense, but because I choose to show up with the intensity and vulnerability of like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable. And they've told you several times, I asked Spirit to slow down, and they're like, no, you can handle this. Because every time, imagine it, ladies, like your rubber band in your hair tie, you physically cannot put your hair up and get a holding hair without putting that hair tie under pressure. We have to sometimes be put under pressure to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how do you lean in to the uncomfortable and find a sense of comfort in the uncomfortable?
Yeah.
You know, what are your tools? What do you surround yourself with? Is it a rock? You never know the power a rock could have. It could be the only thing that could ground you in that moment to help you make it through. I mean, I can't tell you how many broken moments I've called and talked to you through a spiritual advising session and came out going, okay, I can take that next step. I can do a little step today. It's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what you do, Holly. I mean, you show up. That's what you do. And I feel like, you know, during our sessions that, yes, just like you shared about, you were asking Spirit to slow down, and they're like, we're going to push you just a little bit more. Well, and I feel like because you can handle it. You know, you can. And also because you're willing to show up. That's what you do, is you show up. And I get this sense too that as you're moving more and more and more into the growth coaching, you're allowing other people to show up and to support them in showing up, because you do it and you know it's not easy and you do it anyway.
I'm going to guide you to take the example I gave in my group is we can all have a lighter. It's a tool, right? But what you choose to do with this tool is up to you. Like some people might light a candle, some people might light a stick, or you know, they might go light their barbecue grill. What we each do with the tools is up to our unique individual self. So as a growth coach, that's what I do, is I show up with a box of tools that you can test out, try, put in your life, and see how they work and see which one fits best for you. Because we're not a one size fits all society, and we're not a large, medium, and a small. We are the size that fits us best. And it's what we choose to step into, the outfit we choose to wear. Do you feel good when you wear it? Start within yourself, start within your home, because what you start within grows without, like it grows out of you. It radiates out. You know, like they tell you on an airplane, put your oxygen mask on first before assisting others, including children. Wait, what? Like even that's mind-boggling for me as a person who's worked in a family resource center with children and families who went through very challenging situations. We overthink it. I think society tells us to do the work or to take care of ourselves, it has to be an hour. I give moms the example, I give parents the example. Like, I'm going to tell you, while you're sitting on the toilet, check in with yourself. How you doing? Are you breathing? Are you breathing? Are you here? Are you okay? Are you okay? And sometimes it's okay not to be okay. I have a new saying that, you know, I'm okay with that. Just allowing it to be, just have a sense of allowance. And that's part of the growth, you know, is sometimes it ain't comfy, but I will promise you, Spirit has never let me down. Even when I think they're not going to show up, just be willing to be surprised by the happy little speckles that Spirit drops in throughout the day, whether it's a butterfly. Pay attention, be willing to see the little bits, the little speckles sometimes that are in that silver lining, even when we're growing through those days.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love witnessing you, and I feel like people are getting a taste of what they'll get, like with growth coaching with you. And then also, so you have a group, the Power of Growth Collective, correct?
Yes.
And people can join you for the self-therapy retreat.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
So would they just come to your Facebook group?
They've come to the Power of Growth Collective. And at the end, I'll try and put that in the link to that group in the comments. But come into that group. The videos are there right now. Tomorrow is our last day. Tomorrow, if you want to come join us, we're going to just be building our nice little resource box. So just a container of any sort. You can bring a cup, you can bring a container, but start picking up things around the house that do for your five senses. And the goal of this resource box is when you're going crazy and maybe you're out in town or maybe you're at home and you just start to feel uncomfortable, that you can open it up and you have things in there that bring you joy kind of in one fellow spot that can help you just kind of come back present to the moment. And maybe it's a rock, because feeling the rock, ooh, it feels smooth and it's cold, or maybe you want to touch it to your face. It's just a little box of tools. So we're going to build one of those tomorrow so that you can continue to show up for yourself in life, because that's just it. So Power of Growth Collective. And then I'm going to leave those videos up for a little while, so people that maybe just come in to the group would still get an opportunity to watch them as well. And there may be some prizes tomorrow, so come in. I'm giving them away. I think it's on a Sunday. I have a 1-hour session that will be up for a random drawing of a participant. So I'm excited about that.
Yay.
And I'm opening up my calendar to do growth sessions. And I have a big offer, if this is the place to share it and people want to hear about it.
Sparkles.
So I not only offer one-on-one sessions, but for the person who's really ready to invest in their growth, I have a 6-session package that's on sale right now. We can talk about that privately and see if that's a right fit for the person who is interested in it. But it's investing in 6 sessions of growth so that you can work over time and watch yourself grow and really reflect on that period of growth that would happen in those 6 sessions. And those are 6 1-hour sessions, growth sessions, and they can be spread out. Sometimes our growth starts where we need a little bit more sessions in the beginning. Heather and I went through this. So like, we had a little bit more, we had a routine sessions going in the beginning, and then we stretched out, and growth happens at different points for different people in different ways. And so it's customizable, which I love.
That's beautiful. I'm going to push you a little, or Spirit's going to push you a little.
I love it. Grow for it.
Bring it, grow for it. Okay. The growth method, is that going to make a resurrection?
The growth method is going to come back. I've been told I have to bring it back. Birdie told me I kind of want to puke and cry as I'm saying this. It's coming back in June. Awesome. It has up leveled. There is a 5th element that has been brought into the growth method. I'm actually living the growth method every single day of my life. I'm in a period of it right now. I'm showing up to life uncomfortably. It's a 4-part process. It used to be 4 parts. Like I said, I added in the 5th element. I'll give you a taste of what those 5 are: surrender, release, allow, grace, flow. And I've given you just a taste. I'm going to leave that right there. It goes deeper into it. But Heather, you have taken the growth method.
Wow. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it was over the course of 4 weeks, as I recall.
Yes.
Yeah. And I would highly recommend it myself. And it was beautiful. I think I really learned a lot during the grace week. Right? I think we talked about this.
Yes.
And I felt very honored and blessed to be able to be a part of that, and highly recommend it. And I love that you added that 5th element of flow. I was like, ooh,
yes.
I need to jump in. So I love that. And just thank you again for showing up and for being able to use your gifts and your talents and being able to gift that to the world. So to get coaching sessions with Holly, get in with her Facebook group, the Power of Growth Collective, be part of the self-therapy retreat, and also looking at the growth method. So how do people get in touch with you?
I'm over on Instagram at the Power of Growth. You can get me there, or you can find me here on Facebook, Holly Unluata. Send me a private message, or come and join the group, and then we can reach out. And I love to hang out on Instagram as well. Instagram stories. I'm still learning Reels. Don't know a ton of that yet, but I'm having fun, you guys. And I really would like to get to know more of all of you. I know we're all going through something in our lives and can just use a cheerleader. I get told a lot I'm a cheerleader to others. I was a cheerleader in my life, but I love to just cheer you on in your growth and what you're taking the step. It's not about your big steps you take. Yeah, I'll cheer you on for those, of course, 1,000%, but those little itty bitty steps. If you got up today and you're breathing, man, you did it. And that might sound crazy, but as a person who has spent many times in bed, i.e. where I am right now, because I work through chronic pain daily. And you know what? You got to show up in any way you can. Don't give up on yourself. You got this. And if you need somebody to help you when you're feeling that down day, I'm the person that will say, you got, just reach out, just jump over to my messages and I'll give you a nice hug and I'll come sit with you.
Perfect.
Excuse me. I guess I needed to say that.
Absolutely, 100%. And I love that, and perfect. And thank you again for sharing yourself.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you
were,
for the safe space
yes,
you
of
create.
course. Yes, yes. And we were supposed to be on Heighten Your Spiritual Connection, but somehow Zoom wouldn't go that route. So we are on my personal page. And I just like to surround us with prayer, seal our session up with a prayer. Are you
Yes,
ready?
please.
All right. Father, Mother God, thank you so much for allowing for this beautiful soul before me and my path to cross. Please allow her to be able to continue walking forward on her path with clarity and with confidence. Allow her to know that as she's making these decisions, that she's making the right decisions. Allow her to know that she is aligned to who she needs to be into her life path. Please allow her to know that there are so many out there that are needing her. Allow her to be able to know that she will be able to show up however she needs to show up. Allow for those who need to be in her energy to be in her energy. Please surround her family with light and love and with so many prayers. Allow for all of them to have protection and allow for her to know that she just keeps rising and rising and rising. Please allow for her to witness and to see that there is just so much more to come. We ask all of this in the highest light and love and blessings of all. Amen.
Amen. So it is.
Awesome, lady. Okay.
Wow.
Well, those of you who are here, thank you so much for being here. And those of you who are on the replay, thank you for being on the replay. And also, this will be on my YouTube channel as well. So, Molly, awesome. Have a
Thank
good
you so much.
evening. Yes.
Yes, you too.
You.
Blessings, everyone. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, take
Thank you for
care.
being here. Bye.